Anthony Edwards is ready. He's ready to take over the NBA playoffs, lead the Minnesota Timberwolves 2-0 up against the Denver Nuggets. And I'm going to say it, be the face of the NBA. That's right. Let's talk about it, John. Let's flip a coin. Let's pick our teams about the big matchup. Heads or tails?
I'm going to go heads.
It is heads. Who have you got?
I'm going to go Minnesota.
You're going to go Minnesota. That's where we're starting. Tell me about it. And I think he's still got another gear in him. How are you breaking this one down? How are they 2-0 up? I didn't see this shit coming.
I mean, it starts with the defensive end, honestly.
Yeah.
We saw today they held Denver to 80 points. This high-powered Denver offense. Nikola Jokic, one of the greatest offensive weapons in history. Game 2 today, at times, it looked like they had 8 people on the floor on defense. They were swarming everywhere. Active hands, physicality, length, rotations, everything. They were just everywhere, hounding him. And Naz Reid, man, the way he has guarded Jokic one-on-one, not just this game, but also game 1 when Rudy was off the court, it's been insane. You always call me a Rudy hater, but I strongly believe that Naz Reid is a much better defender for Jokic one-on-one than Rudy. Yeah. I believe that Jokic owns Rudy one-on-one. And there's a possession today where Jokic got a deep catch on him, deep in the post. Naz Reid went block, offensive rebound for Jokic. Block, offensive rebound, and then forced to miss. And that's something you never see from Jokic.
That's something you never see from undersized centers, really. Bam probably has that 1 or 2 times in him.
Yeah.
You don't see that all that often. But 2 games in, 106 to 99 in the first. Like you said, held them to 80 today. 35 points at halftime. I'm impressed with the ensemble. I'm impressed with Alexander Walker.
Him and McDaniels, man.
Jaden McDaniels.
The way they've been defending that perimeter. But not just that. Navigating the screens, that's the big thing. Because the way the Wolves are playing defense on that pick and roll, which is the big thing with the Denver Nuggets, they're keeping the big man on Jokic. They're not even hedging him across.
Not worried.
And they're forcing Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Anthony Edwards, and Jaden McDaniels to fight over that screen and just keep pressure on whoever it is, usually just Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
And then they got the weak side defender. Typically, it's the defender who's matched up against Aaron Gordon. They got them coming late. They got them coming late so that alley-oop pass is difficult, and the kick-out is quite late and difficult to make as well. That late contest. Yeah. And it gets so congested when they come late, and it's worked wonders for them so far.
I'm hearing a lot on defense, but it's the playoffs, John. Guys that play only defense, the Matisse Tybulls of the world.
The Ben Simmons of the world.
The Ben Simmons of the world. Maybe the Rudy Goberts. They don't get to play.
Yep.
They don't get to play these minutes, and that's what I've been impressed with, actually, with Alexander Walker, McDaniels. You know, McDaniels shot 0 for 7, came back today, decent performance. I look at Alexander Walker. If you hit the 3, these are guys that can
4 for 7 today, I think, from 3 as well.
These are guys you can actually have in the rotation.
Yep.
That has been the weak point of so many squads we've seen over time, not being able to be able to play your best defenders on the court.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways,
just one more thing.
Yeah.
On that point, in terms of defenders being a net negative, I strongly believe, once again, going back to Rudy, the Nuggets have a better chance of winning this series if Rudy Gobert is playing.
Look, just want to say congratulations. You're a great family man. I don't know why he's targeting you like this.
I'm not.
Week in, week out.
I'm not. Like, he makes great defensive plays that very few in the league, if any, can make.
All right.
But just from an overall team perspective, they're faster and they're a bit more physical strength-wise.
They are fast.
And with this Nuggets team, that's kind of what you need. And then on offense, we saw today the Wolves play with pace, and on the fast break, they were so spread out, and this leaves driving lanes and open threes, especially for Jokic's guy, as you were just talking about with Jokic. He wasn't on his guy a lot, and that led to a lot of open threes. And you can play 5 out with no Gobert on the floor, and almost no loss on the defensive end, as you saw today, even though Gobert is a great defender.
They're stepping up. The guys around are stepping up, and maybe it isn't the best matchup, but
it's been domination.
Minnesota's got versatility on defense with Rudy there as well. Let's switch it up, because the Denver Nuggets are 2-0 down with home court. I've lost
home code, twin cost. It's all over the place.
I'm done.
It's all over the place.
But you have a home court advantage.
You did.
In a million miles up. Closest to heaven you'll get in the NBA. And Nikola Jokic, we got to start the conversation there. Everyone's going to talk about turnovers, and you've got the stats in front of you right now. But the question for me today, game 2, I just showed you a few clips and we don't have the broadcasting rights, but first, second quarter, simple buckets.
Yep.
One off-ball screen, one pick and pop. Jokic is just standing there, lurking.
Sagging in the paint. Off Cat, self-proclaimed greatest big man shooter ever.
Cat, Naz Reid, whoever it was, the whole first half that I've watched back, I haven't done the replay of the full game just yet, but I'm unimpressed with the intensity from Jokic. And people were talking about in the first game, they were working Jokic hard. Is he getting tired? I think he's got another gear to him. And I hope for the sake of this series, we get to see that.
I don't think he's tired. He's got amazing cardio and he plays at altitude all year long.
So is it a lack of concentration? Is that what we're putting it down to? Because
I don't think it's that. This
not applying himself? What is it?
Especially today.
Yeah.
Him and the whole team, they were frustrated.
Yeah.
Very frustrated. Big time. You saw early in the first quarter, Michael Malone went off in Mark Davis's
double tech?
No tech at all.
No, but for you, double tech.
Regular season, ejection within 2 seconds immediately. Playoffs, that's a tech straight away, and then you cool it down. But Jamal Murray, he was on something today. He lost his composure real quick. In the first quarter, he was going off for all the refs. He, after a foul out of a timeout or something, money signed to the ref as well.
Yeah.
A play later, goes over to the other sideline, talks to his dad. They're getting paid something like that to his dad as well.
All right. Look,
it's unreal.
There was no rhythm, and I think the Lakers must be pissed because what you saw against the Lakers from the Denver Nuggets was a 24-second shot clock work down. This doesn't work, we'll go to this. This doesn't work, we'll go to this. And you're seeing the same sort of complications arise against Minnesota, but it's just, nope, we can't get through this. We can't get through this. We can't get through this.
I still feel that 24-second stuff is still there, but the Minnesota, they're playing 25 seconds of defense.
Yeah.
And they're just hampering that Nuggets offense so much.
I'm not too worried about Murray's inconsistencies. People are talking about the injuries. The first half stats aren't great.
I mean, he looked a bit like this in the first series as well against the Lakers. Not injured, but like just not playing to how he did last year.
I will say, this series so far, I don't think we've seen either Jamal or Ant at their best.
Ant's maybe a bit in game 1, but Jamal, no way. This series, he's shooting 25% from the field and 21% from 3.
But this series,
that's not Jamal.
This series, guys, has been this exciting, and we're still seeing so many flaws
100%
on Denver's side, and I still think Minnesota has another level to them. So
yeah,
here's to more episodes of the movie.
And on Jamal's side, is he going to play game 3? Is he going to be suspended? We saw what he did with that heat pack, throwing onto the floor. That's a no-no. That is so dangerous, so unprofessional. And we know when there's fights on the court, if bench is clear, it's immediate, I think, suspensions or something. He's throwing a heat pack onto the floor where they were all there rebounding, jumping around. Yeah. Someone could have so easily got injured. 100% he's getting fined. Because it's a playoffs, he might escape suspension because he has no track record as well. But I wouldn't be mad if he gets suspended.
John, he's just a good Canadian kid. Good kid, Mads.
Is that it?
Is it
just a good Canadian kid?
Just a good Canadian kid, dog. Okay. No one's got problems with Canadians this week. All right, really quickly, guys. This is NBA Casuals. We switch it up. We don't have agendas. We flip a coin. If you like what you're seeing, if you want weekly basketball content, stay locked in. Hit the subscribe button. All right. We haven't talked about them for so long. The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep.
The youngest first seed.
In history.
In a while.
I think in history.
In a while. And yeah, you sweep your team in the first round against the Pels, and now we have to talk about you. It's a shame we forget about you in the last week when all the chaos with the Game 7s happened. Yep. John, heads or tails?
I'm going to go heads once again.
Heads. All right, let me see what we've got for you here. It is tails. It is tails. We've got the OKC up against the Dallas Mavericks. Look, I'm going to go with Dallas.
Yep.
I'm going to make you go with OKC.
Sure.
Tell me, after being 3-1 up against the Mavs in the regular season, Luke has missed a couple of games. We haven't seen enough of what a real matchup looks like. What's OKC's game plan coming into game 1?
Offensively, a lot of the burden is going to be on Shea as expected, but J-Dub has got to have a huge series. He's got to help Shea match up in scoring with Luka and Kyrie.
Okay.
And that's going to be a big thing for them. And Chet spacing the floor is going to be a big thing as well. If he's hitting threes, that's going to open it up so much for Shea to cook in the mid-range and in the paint. And that will get that Oklahoma City offense going. And another big thing, Isaiah Joe off the bench. If he's hitting shots and you got Lou Dort hitting shots, that's going to get them rolling and it's going to be dangerous to the Mavs. On the defensive side,
this is where I want to talk.
The defensive side, this is where the big thing is. With the Mavs, you got Luka, you got Kyrie, the best backcourt.
It's unholy. It's unholy.
It's unreal.
It's unholy.
Lou Dort is the main matchup we're thinking of, and Cason Wallace has defended Luka a bit quite throughout the season. Whether he can stay on the floor in terms of foul trouble and also giving enough offensive production is one thing, but Lou Dort is that main thing. With Luka, you can't afford to switch on him. I feel in this series, you cannot afford to switch on him. And Lou Dort is one of the best screen navigators in the league and one of the best perimeter defenders. So he will do a solid job, but he's going to play otherworldly defense this series, staying in front of him. Because with Luka, almost every possession, he's going to get you a great look at the rim or a great look at three. Almost open shot every single time.
That's a great way of putting it.
And you really don't want to double him as well because it's just going to get even worse from there. So Lou Dort is going to have so much pressure on him to try shut down Luka. And then it's going to be team defense on the other floor, including Kyrie, to kind of just work that
What is your plan then? You've talked about what these guys are going to do on the ball. Are you sort of playing for the pass from Luka?
So with Lou Dort...
Or are you hoping he overshoots the ball? Because that is the question for me. Are you playing the driving lanes?
Yes, playing the driving lanes because at the point of attack, you're going to have Lou Dort and Shea, say the next two words.
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Good man. Who is one of the other best defenders in the league, leading the league in steals this year as well. So having those two up at the front, matching up against Kyrie and Luka is the big matchup for them defensively. It's really going to set a tone. And if they can win that battle there, they can kind of stifle that Dallas.
Yeah. And on our end, dislocated shoulder, forgotten his name, Maxi Kleber. Big loss.
Huge loss.
3-point shooting. Yep. That's not going to be there. And now the question is, for the Dallas Mavericks, Lively or Gafford, who are we going to trust deeper down in the game? I don't really have an idea on this. I was hoping to get your input.
Yep.
Obviously, Lively will help with the rim protection, I feel.
Gafford
is decent. Yeah. He's decent. He's doing well for an undersized guy.
Lively's a rookie.
I know.
But he hasn't acted like it this year.
I know. It's going to be a lot of big minutes now.
But that is because he's playing with Luka. And Luka makes everyone else's job so much easier.
Yeah. Do you feel like Lively is going to get to the rim the same way on offense?
100%. Luka will still find ways to get past his defender, and then it's on Chet to make that decision. Are you going to come off Lively and help? And the alley-oop is open to are you going to come off Lively? And the alley-oop is open. And he's so tall, he's so long, like Luka can throw it up so high where no one can get it except Lively. And if Chet stays home, then Luka's going to have that floater or mid-range all day long.
The other thing I was thinking, we've talked about Luka and Kyrie, and this is probably not the best analogy, but I think the Dallas Mavericks are Phoenix with passing.
Ooh.
They've got two amazing bucket getters, but they can also pass the goddamn ball. Obviously, there's lots of differences about the two teams, but what you then have, and I thought about what Phoenix did well at random points throughout the season. Obviously, they're in Cancun, but I really like when the floor is spaced to the point where you had KD in one corner and Book running the point. And I feel like if you're going to see so much of this attention, so much of OKC playing the passing lanes, having Kyrie start in the corner and have sets from there, have him move out of there is a big thing. And even when Luka wants to disengage, having him just in the corner, because these are going to be long minutes, I think in rotation, that is very important.
Like what with you said with KD, like just having him in the corner, it's a waste. But if you kind of have that Warriors offense from back in the day where they're always moving no matter where they are, that's when it becomes deadly.
Yeah.
And another thing for the Mavs, with Kleber out, the bench is going to be so important. And I think one of the main figures for that is Dante Exum.
Our Australian fella. Our boy.
His energy off the bench is going to be huge. And he's not known as a great three-point shooter, but he's had streaks throughout the season.
He can do it.
Where he's knocked down multiple in a game and hit game winners as well. And his three-point shooting is going to be a big factor in this series as well. Big factor.
So there you have it. Two big matchups. Before we wrap up, Wemby is the Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
And that got me thinking, guys.
And the Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, he might be the depoy. Let's wait and see. But they got me thinking, the West is so goddamn overpowered. Next season, we've got Memphis coming back with Ja Morant, and we've got San Antonio, obviously, with Victor Wembanyama.
If they make a trade.
And a good high draft pick that they might chip off.
Yep.
And you've got Lauri Markkanen, who's in trade rumors all across the West. The West is only getting stronger and stronger. Are we, John, going to see some free agents move back the other way? You've got LeBron, you've got Paul George, you've got a few guys with question marks on them. Are we going to see some guys in free agency this season?
Possibly,
take
yes.
that step?
But I don't think it will be because there's less talent or whatever in the West. It'll be because there's a better fit for them personally in the East.
You don't think some of these boys are ducking smoke?
No, not at all.
I don't know, man. Because
I mean, PG knows he's not a number one. He's going to go to a team with a number one because he's the number two or number three.
And where's that, huh?
Possibly Philly.
Possibly Philly.
Possibly. Who knows?
Get out of here,
Speculation.
man. Get out of here.
It's all speculation.
Okay, look, like, if you put your Kevin Durant move to the Golden State Warriors brain on, your best chance to win, if you are in free agency currently playing in the West, is to sail east.
Yeah, but I mean, if the Nuggets continue the way they're going this series and they get swept, KD might ask for a trade to the Nuggets. You never know what might happen.
All right.
He's done it before.
It's getting way too casuals. It's getting way too casual for NBA casuals. If you like weekly basketball content, hit the subscribe button. We promise when your favorite basketball players have a baby, we won't criticize them for not attending games.
Family first.
Family
all day,
first at Lockdown Sports. Ciao.